What's up, y'all? This is Rom coming back at you with yet another car video. Most men don't stand out to women. Most men don't stand out to women. And before I get into the main subject, man, y'all gotta check out the Game Kings documentary. I hadn't talked about that in a while on here. That I did with Mr. Lucario and Miles Cunningham a few years ago, 2019, recorded it. I think it came out in 2020. But there's a link for it in the description box. I thought about it this morning because I was going through my saved pics on IG and I saw this pic. Yeah. And I was like, yeah, I remember that. And I was holding up that book from Mr. Lucario, How to Have Sex with 2 Women in a Day. Good book, good book. Check it out. But definitely check out that documentary. And I'm going to tell you what, it goes deep because you got different angles. Everything from me, Eddie Fuse, Miles, and Mr. Lucario, of course, Steve the Dean. I think it's Boss Mac. And forgive me, brother, if you see this. And then the legendary pimp, Rosebud. So definitely check it out. There's a link for it in the description box. Going through my website to get it. And very powerful. Very powerful. Yeah, but yeah, anyway. Most men don't stand out to women. And this is kind of connected to what I was talking about yesterday. You know, when I said, I was talking about the women who will generally have a low count, the more unattractive ones. This is connected to that. Now, I had some people, of course, they say, no, all women getting down. And then, some people say, nah, some of those unattractive women be having a high count. Well, one, I was speaking in general terms anyway. And I said likelihood. Two, even with the more unattractive women with high counts, I said they usually are sexually aggressive, So, it's just like, but then there was another angle. Because, see, a lot of times, if you talk about one part of something, people don't look at the whole picture. Because one of the things that's affecting these women getting down is you got a significant portion of men. And then these are studies. These are studies because some people say, well, what's the studies on it? Studies, what, 30% of men are virgins, ain't having sex? Wait, hold on a second. Sorry, y'all ain't need to see me honk, man. I got sinuses, man, but I've always did. But anyway, 30% of men ain't getting it like that. And let's be real. Most men ain't getting it like that. Now, these are also studies. Guys talking about these women got all these high counts and stuff, but then juxtapose that, my word to trip over, with up to 30% of men are virgins, like especially younger men, and then you got several studies, and these are self-reported studies, so that says a lot, where the average count of a man out here is 5. I used to be generous and say 7, but you got studies saying, nah, it's 5. And the thing is, the way men lie on their dicks, if these guys on a self-reported study say you're 5, you'd be like, damn. And this is guys out here getting stuff. Shoot. If men were getting it like, and that's another thing too. If men were getting it like that, if men were really getting it like that, there'd be no need for a sex industry. There'd be no need. There'd be no need. No need for sex tourism and everything. No need for sex tourism. You wouldn't even need all that. A man just go, shit, if the women were getting down like that, the men would just go, they go hang out somewhere. They wouldn't need to do much. It's really that simple. It's really that simple. But see, everybody just want to look at one angle. Man, I'm going to tell you what, going through life, you got to look at the whole picture, man. You got to look at everything and think, And here's the thing, because I've said several times, the women want to get down. Oh, shit, they horny. But for certain men. And some guys get it, That's one thing. I get a black pill is, only issues I even had with them, honestly, only issues I got with them, they think it's a specific type that, hey, girl. She give me that look. Say, who that boy? Anyway, there's a specific type. Thinking there's a specific type. It's like, no. Women want you to look good in general, but then you got some women like a guy ugly. But even then, that's still a specific type. You know? I mean, that's their type, rather. That's the only thing I have against the black pill is they think it's like a certain type and that's it. And it's like, no, they want you to be good looking, but, you know, a square jaw is good looking to some women. Some women like a round face. You know? I actually saw a study say women prefer oral shaped faces. Hell, Chris Hemsworth, he don't have a square jaw. You got women going crazy. But that's the only thing with them, but they got a good point. Women only want to get with a small percentage of men. And shit, and you look at any 80-20, now I've said they have to get with some of the 80%, but that's only because they don't have a choice or whatever, or some of the 80% might have some legitimate gain. But that's still a smaller percentage. That's still, you know, select and non-select. That whole thing is a sexual hierarchy. See, here's the thing. Let me get into that, because you got certain content creators, and you know, I don't give anybody any press. I don't go in on anybody, but thinking, oh yeah, they can compete with the select. It's a purely sexual. It's a purely sexual hierarchy. A woman got to look at you and want to have sex. Most of that is physical. Secondarily, personality. If the money comes into the equation, and it do with some men, but even they got to look good. Like I talk about the mass men, and I say a part of their thing is having money and stuff, but they got to look good too. They have to look good. Ain't no ifs, ands, and buts. They got to look good. They got to look good enough so the women squint at them and be like, well, maybe, at least. And then, you know, they get on that more practical side, more pragmatic side, then the money come in. But even then, a lot of those guys, those are those select guys who get cheated on the quickest. Oh yeah, select guys can get cheated on. You know? Only guys who might not get cheated on, and I'm just saying might, are the Mr. Goodbars, the raw sex appeal. And that's a combination of the physicality and mindset. Because there's a certain game with that. And that's just a reality. So when women looking at men, like if you put a woman in a room with 100 men, and then they go back and tell their girlfriends, and the girlfriends, well, how many men were in there? 10. And the thing is, women be serious on it. That's one thing. Now remember, the other day I said, talk with plenty of women. You'd be surprised. You could be especially be around some lady friends or something. You know, totally cool, platonic. And you see some other guys, like you ain't giving a vibe like y'all two together. You see some other guys hollering at them or trying to get at them looking. The women don't even notice. Like if you, you might have a bunch of those, let's call them what they are, invisible men standing over there. And they all checking out the woman. You point out, say, look, all those guys checking you out. She'd be like, where? And he'd be like, damn. And they'd be like, I thought you said there was some men over there. Stop playing with me, bro. Stop playing with me. Shit. Yeah, of course, some of those women, they'd be trying to take it further themselves. They'll be like, well, hey, Ron, yeah. You know, that friend thing, we need to discuss that a bit more. But nah, but seriously, if you talk to women, I've talked to, see, that's the thing. See, let me get into something too, because sometimes people say, well, there's statistics on it. I actually have degrees. Nice. I only got 2 kids. Anyway, even though, you know, people tend to forget. They see the car videos, think I'm just some Joe Schmo out here sometimes. I got letters behind my name. Know how to do qualitative research, field research. And I've actually done formal, surveys. Haven't done one in a couple years. I might put together something and put it out to y'all. But, nah, you start talking to these women, man, you say, well, damn. Because shit, in fact, that's why women be saying there's a shortage of good men. And you know, or, you know, it's like in the black community specifically. Now, this ain't just about the black community. Now, watch a bunch of people can say, oh, it's just black women. None of the other women do it. Man, please. Let me say something about that real quick. A lot of guys get on here saying just black women, but, and this ain't defending or promoting or anything, but if it's just them, why you got men of other races complaining? Seriously, most of the incels are white. You go someplace like Japan, and I forgot that term they use in Japan for these men, but they ain't getting none. In fact, Japan, South Korea, the birth rate's going down seriously. They ain't getting none. So it's a universal thing. It's a universal thing. But just specifically talking about the black community, and they got this in other communities too, but it's more public there. They used to say, oh, all the men were either gay, in jail, or married. All the good men. And I was like, why don't you just say all the men y'all want? There's plenty of men. You know? Y'all just mean the men y'all find is fine. Shit, I told a bunch of women that at a seminar to their faces. They ain't argue with me. Because that's just a woman's nature. I mean, that starts from the sperm. That starts from the sperm. Because you got some women, shoot, they getting millions of sperm shot out there, but, you know, I shared that a link where a study said the egg will just send out, like, signals to, like, certain sperm. That's just a woman's nature. Like, let me go metaphysic real quick. It's a woman's responsibility to assure the future of the race. Because, yeah, we can shoot them up as much as we want, or try to, you know, dump as much sperm as we can into them. We can try to. But on the for real, you know, the woman, she's the one got to nurture the baby. Women decide. They decide the quality of any community by who they mate with. And, yeah, we can get into a deeper conversation and everything, because, you know, a lot of guys saying, oh, they mate with all these bad guys and all that. Yeah, but let's get into why they mating with certain guys. Like women mating with, I've said it before. These women going for prisoner types and all of that. It ain't the personality. Look at the physicality. If you want to know why a certain guy is getting women like that, look at his physicality. He's standing out. That he happened to be in prison or a bad person, it don't really matter. And there's something about that I want to get into as well. Very important. Very important. But I'll get into it in a second. But that's the thing. That's the woman's nature. They're going to be picky. I mean, there was another study that it determined that only 40% of men are typically going to put their genes into the future. Like around 40. Never overall. Never overall. And really, that's just biology. If you check any animal kingdom, any mammals and stuff, only certain ones of them are going to reproduce. And it's the strongest. Yeah, stopping by on a school bus. Yeah, this father getting his daughters on the bus. Let me just say something real quick. I told y'all before, you know, my main thing is being that father. And I don't have any respect for men who are not fathers to their children. It don't even matter if they don't like their children. I mean, not the children, the wife or mother, rather. Don't even matter. I knew one dude, he took care of his daughter to the point he lived with his daughter and the mother. He didn't even like the mother. He said straight up he didn't like the mother. And she knew it. But he said he had to be there for his daughter. You know? And incidentally, any men out there, if you have a baby with a woman, y'all ain't married, just go straight away for full custody. Go straight away. You mitigate a lot of shit. Go straight away for it. You know? And then compromise, you get shared custody. But just go for those two. You got to take care of your seeds. Anyway, back to what I was saying. It's just a woman's nature. That's just their nature. People trying to say all this shit, but you can't show me any society in history where women, or at least no society in history where women just got with every single man. Every single man. Like, even a lot of stuff now, people talking about the incels and all of that. This ain't no new shit. This ain't no new shit. I talked to my elders about it. They were telling me this shit way before the internet. There's always men who just didn't make. The only difference we got now and from the past, only difference is we can talk about it on social media. It's just a woman's nature. Women are cold-blooded. They're ruthless. And they supposed to be. Now, I know a bunch of guys who ain't, you know, mating and everything. You know, they don't see it that way. But, you know, nature is cruel. Nature's cold-blooded. You know? Nature is cold-blooded. It is what it is. You know? That's why there's a sexual competition and everything. That's why in warfare, in many societies in the past, they kill off the men. You know? They kill off the men and rape the women. You know? That's why a lot of guys got a problem. I don't usually use alpha and beta, but you understand. That's why a lot of betas got problems with alphas. They mating better. And that's just it. Now, let me get into something very important. Very important, because it gets on my nerves when I hear this shit. It really gets on my nerves. And yeah, y'all know how I'm flowing. Chiron flows. Yeah. Thank you once again, Master Teacher BGS, for kind of forced me to do more Chiron. You know what you're not. You ain't. Nah, that's my big brother, though. That's my big brother, but I just flow on these. But yeah, one thing that really gets on my nerves and don't deal with reality, people thinking that the men who getting all the women are all just the bad guys. Some of the biggest players I've known in life have had money, have had multiple degrees. Let me say that, multiple degrees. Shit, I know of a player now that I pray he never decided to get on social media, but that would fuck up his game. Because he would, oh shoot, Congress would be trying to stop him because that dude's game is cold. But he's a doctor. He's a doctor. He got him lined up. Yeah, he got some scuzzy shit to him, but still a doctor. But then you got some other guys. They good guys getting the badass women. One's working in D.C., one's working in the legal area. Shoot, you had judges, attorneys. Shoot. One, they embraced body game. There used to be a judge at the D.C. Superior Court back in the day. He could outlift the marshals. And he ain't play. I used to sit in his courtroom just to watch him reduce grown men to tears. But he had I saw his woman. She was bad as shit. I was like, damn, dude, shit. And it wasn't no status thing. Because I know some attorneys and engineers. Because I told you I worked at gyms. And they had women going crazy. And these were good guys. And they had the financial thing together. But the whole key was, you know, they stood out the women. They had the muscle. They were hitting the gym. They were hitting the gym. They ain't have any excuses. And if somebody try to say, well, I'm smarter, shit, these dudes had degrees. Doctors, attorneys, you know, engineers. You know, just as physical. Teachers. You know, well, it's a question. Professors. Like, I knew this one professor. That dude, women used to go crazy over his ass. He was just, but if you didn't see him, like if you didn't see him teaching class, you think he's just some regular dude. Well, not regular, because dude looked like he could be Billy D. Williams, like cousin and shit. But dude definitely practiced body game. And the women going like, they were taking turns. Let's say they paid attention in class. Yeah, he was a genius bruiser, because he was not only a law professor, he was getting a medical degree too. Shoot, bunch of attorneys, all that. And I'm just saying that, man, look, because some people will try to say, no, I don't want to be a bad guy. You don't have to be a bad guy. You know, anybody can do it. Anybody can do it. You know, some ministers. You know what I say about ministers. Of course, pimps get mad if I point it out. They got that game, but also that body and shit. You be looking at some of the guys out here, and of course, plenty of strong blue collar guys. But you know, the main thing is a lot of guys be thinking, oh, they only getting and trying to break them down. But I'm like, man, there's plenty of guys with money and, you know, education, all of that, and he primarily getting the women through. They primarily getting the women through just physicality. Shoot, that includes me in there. That includes me. Because a lot of women don't know what, even now, women don't know what I do. A lot of women I meet out in just out and about past few years didn't know what I do. They be surprised. There's some people, I was just at my cleaner's yesterday. She always clean my clothes. She was like, you know, I don't know what you do for a living. I'll just say I do some stuff. Because she keep all my stuff clean and everything. But that's because it wasn't important, you know? It wasn't an important thing. Because they looking at the physicality and all that. I stand out in the crowd. I'll put it like that. I had no problem saying that. I stand out in the crowd, you know? And that's how you got to be. You know, and that's why I promote body game, because, okay, because you got a lot of guys that say, well, it's the face, but let's just be real. 1% of men got that type of face that'll put a woman into a trance. They exist, but that's why they get the modeling contracts. And even they, honestly, they got to work out like crazy. It's kind of funny. You get these guys who, especially in the black male community, yeah, I'm talking about, they be using all these models as examples, but I'm like, you don't see that these dudes be working out too? And as far as like some people think body game is just either being lean or body game is just being like big and bulky or big and muscular. Body game just meaning like your body. There's women who like lean guys. There's women who like big muscular guys. You know? And 4 billion women on the planet, surely you can get a bunch who like you for your body. Because... And yeah, I always bring it back to body game. That's the primary thing that turns a woman on. In fact, I'm going to share a link to this thing talking about female tourism in the Dominican Republic. I think that was the Dominican Republic, but the thing was in French. But the women going crazy. You got these women, and for those who think, oh, I'm just talking about black women, these white women who going crazy over all these brothers in the Dominican Republic. The thing was in French. If you're a French speaker, you probably understand what's going on. I took French decades ago. I can maybe, you know, most I can do is recognize it's French. But anyway, these women going primarily for the bodies. I just watched one clip. The woman, she rubbing on the guys like abs and shit. So it's like a man, you know, and especially if the man, like, let's be real, like a lot of guys talk about height, but, and they do stand out. They do stand out, but you can only go so far with that. You can't really control that other than just keeping a good posture. And I know another lady friend of mine, she was saying, she emphasized it. She did a webinar for me. My more inner circle know about her stuff, and remember, she spent a whole lot of time talking about posture. But even then, there's only so far you can go. And as far as the height thing, only what 14% of men on the planet go past 6 feet. Only 3% go past 6'2". So it's like, okay, so what those other guys doing? But if you look at most of the players, shit, they usually, I put them between the 5'8" to 6 feet range, because it's just more realistic. And plus, it's still taller than most women. With women, you just gotta be taller. All right, but like I said, that's still the hardest to control for. You can still fix your face up, right? Still fix your face up to the best extent. Shoot, especially with beard game now, you can have a weak jaw, but you can actually shape your beard to the point and make you look like you got a strong jaw. So you got that. And then body, that's the easiest thing to change. That's the easiest thing to change. You want to deal with that. Well, I got some dirt here. I probably need to Okay, I'm going to the car wash tomorrow. Yeah, real quick, I'll be going to my car wash. They got full service, so I'll be getting like really a mini detail every time I go in there. I can get it every single day too. Like they come in and do a very good job, like a mini detail. They don't, but car's pretty clean. But anyway, you know, so that's one way, you know. And then of course how you dress and everything, you gotta stand, because that's just women's nature. And then just have that strong personality. Should be a man. Carry yourself as a man. Because ultimately, I'm going to just say this. If you're a real man, like a man, you masculine and shit. You take, you know, you take charge. You're aggressive and everything. Shit, they can even pick that up in your posture and how you walk. So, yeah. But yeah. And that's a major problem. Just a lot of guys just too invisible. And then, you know, I'm trying to tell you something to stand out. Because especially you don't even have to have a great body. If you got a body just slightly above the average out here, let's just be real. How many guys walking around with some muscle on them and shit? Shit, I got my rinse do shirt. This the pickup shirt right here. Shit, or the chest sticking out some, or shoulders. You don't see it a lot. Most guys invisible. So it's like, okay, work on that. Because then even if you approach a woman, whatever you do, they pay more attention. However you want to interact with them. They're like, oh, okay, let me see what's up. Let me see what's up. But otherwise, yeah, you got to have something to stand out about you. And most men don't stand out. But, you know, to quote Doc Holliday in that legendary movie Tombstone, I'm your Huckleberry. I'm telling you what to do. It works. It works. So anyway, though, that's all I got for today, yo. Get back with y'all later. Gotta go get my vittles and stuff. And oh, and actually, there's gonna be a couple videos on my major videos, because usually y'all know when I do my major videos, I do you know, do it on my other camera, my 4K camera, but something happened to the receiver for my mic and stuff, so I had to order another one. So, might be doing a few on here. So anyway, y'all, that's all I got. Get back with y'all later. Definitely check out Game Kings, all right? So, I get back with y'all. Peace and blessings.